Welcome, Hudson Valley, to this week's edition of In Touch, the public affairs and issues program that runs across Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley radio stations. This week's guest is Melaine Rottkamp, President and CEO of Dutchess Tourism. Everyone affects the Dutchess County visitor economy, whether you think you do or not. We talk about the economic impact of Dutchess Tourism, plus their workforce training programs, such as their Certified Tourism Ambassador program. We invite you to join us and listen to a previously recorded conversation between Melaine and myself here on In Touch. Hello, Hudson Valley. You're listening to In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's public affairs and issues program. We got a great episode for you today. We have one of our favorites in, recurring guest. Absolutely a pleasure to see you every time you come over to the studio. We work together on air, off air. It's so good to have you. With Dutchess Tourism, we have President and CEO Melaine Rottkamp. Melaine, how you doing?
I'm great. It's so good to see you. It's been a little while.
It's been a sec. Yeah, I think like the last time it wasn't that long, but then now I think it was definitely last year, 2022.
Yeah,
probably
everything is picked up. We're all so busy now. We're back to beyond busy from the pandemic. So it's good to make the time to come be with you today.
Absolutely. And we're both standing, something that we don't normally do for an In Touch, but you know what? It's the energy of today.
We're feeling good.
We're feeling good. And I know we've had you on a couple times already, but for those who are new, those who need a refresher, could you just give us like a quick overview on like what Dutchess Tourism is and what Dutchess Tourism does for the community?
Sure. So Dutchess Tourism, an independent 501c6 nonprofit organization. We are governed by a board of directors, and we are the designated destination marketing organization for Dutchess County. So what that means is it's our job to bring visitors from outside of the area and their spending dollars to our communities to support our businesses. So in 2021, we don't have 2022 numbers yet. They're coming. But in 2021, more than $632 million was spent in Dutchess County by visitors coming into our area. So I know that sometimes the main streets in Beacon and Rhinebeck can be very crowded. I know that there's maybe people on Route 9 who aren't driving the way that we think they ought to because they're not sure where they're going. But please be really nice to them, because what that outside money coming into our community means is that if that all went away and we all as residents had to make up for the level of government services that they are able to provide thanks to this outside money, we would all have to pay about $800 extra a year to make up for those services, everything from mental health and youth programs and fire and safety and roads and bridges and parks and all of those things that our government spend money on. You know, this money coming into the area from people not residents contributes to that. So be really, really nice to them. That number, when you break it down, that averages out to $1.7 million a day spent in Dutchess County by visitors. So that's a big deal. It's a huge economic engine for our community. And, during the 90s and 2000s, when some of the IBM and some of the other places were downsizing, the one industry that kept growing was tourism. And we see that it's become such a wonderful place to live and work, and it drives investment. So if you look at a company like Asahi Shuzo, who's brought their Desai Blue sake brewery to Hyde Park, and the investment with Belfield Historic Sites and Eastdale Village and all these other attractions and things that are coming and developing in theaters and music and special events, they want to be here because people want to be here. And so we continue to work together for the benefit of our community and our residents to drive visitors to the county.
No, that's really fantastic. And it's funny you mentioned Eastdale Village. I just did a write-up on their second Fridays, which happening today. We're recording on a Friday, but this goes live on a Sunday, but you know how it is. But it's really cool to see how everything's built up because, I'm lifelong resident. I spent time in Albany, but I've spent most of my life here. Yeah. And to see everything grow in the last 25 years has been really insane. And it's great to see this stuff happen because it's just offering so much more. And one thing that we touched upon the last time that you were here were the landing pages that you guys have recurring on the website.
Right.
And I think the last time we talked, it was the winter landing page. I don't think we had a chance to really get into the spring one, but we're kind of skipping spring into summer now. But there is the summer landing page, which we were having a really fun time exploring right before we got onto the mic. And could you go back to that for everybody else now and tell them what they can expect on the summer landing page and what they can get out of it?
Sure, of course. So DutchessTourism.com is a treasure trove of things to see and do. No one should ever be bored in Dutchess County, ever. If you encounter somebody who says there's nothing to do here,
they're wrong.
Send them to DutchessTourism.com. And we recognize, because there are so many wonderful things to see and do, there's more than 1,200 businesses listed on our website, and it can be overwhelming. So one of the things that we did is we made these curated landing pages for the seasons where we throw all the big spotlights. And so this year for summer, we're just, really kicking it off. And my team, I have a phenomenal team of people that dig and dive and find and search and bring the best to you all. So for instance, obviously June is Pride Month. So we have a great list of Pride events. It's been really nice to see that evolve over the years and more things and a wider variety of activities and things happening. So check out the Pride Month events, the top 10 events for June. And as we get closer to July, we'll have the top 10 events for July.
There we go.
And, Juneteenth, talking about our history here and the part that people in our community and our history help to uplift different communities, underserved communities, and celebrate Juneteenth and the contributions made by African Americans in our community. Coming up is Upstate Art Weekend, and that is July 21st through the 24th. So there's a great roundup there. 145 destinations and artists from across the Hudson Valley participating. There's a great spotlight on the top summer food and drink festivals, because who doesn't love to eat? And nobody dines better than we do in Dutchess County. One of the things we mentioned, if you've heard our podcast partnerships before, is some of our digital experience passes. Well, in January, because we get to talk then, we launched the CIA Chef Finder Digital Experience Pass.
Ooh.
And so what's awesome about this, everybody says that they've got farm to table dining and they have wonderful dining and blah, 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 blah. But no. We have the best dining in Dutchess, because even we were surprised when we started digging. More than 35 eateries in Dutchess County are owned by CIA grads.
Wow.
Or are where they're the head chef.
That's impressive.
It is a huge number. So those are our bona fides when we're talking to travel writers and potential visitors. And so you can go to DutchessTourism.com, and in the top right corner is a picture of a compass rose. If you click that, you'll find all of our digital experience passes, and you'll get it's not an app, it's a digital download of this pass. And what you do is you go check in places. And when you check in, you earn points. And some of them even have discounts for free drinks or other things. And as you earn points, you can win prizes. So you can win passes for the CIA's for their Taste Experience Tour. You can win a gift certificate to the Apple Pie Bakery. And if you get the next tier, you can be entered to win a class at the Culinary Institute of America. So that's a really fun one I want you to check out.
I love that. That's fantastic.
Yeah. There's more, because it's Path Through History Weekend. I Love New York collects all those. So our historic sites are participating in that. That's June 17th and 18th. If you've got kids and summer's coming and you don't know what to do with them, there's a spotlight for that too. That's the top 10 destinations perfect for summer vacation with your kids. So everything from Trevor Zoo to Splashdown to the Renegades to the newly rebranded Mid-Hudson Discovery Museum and more. Never a dull moment. If you're a grandparent and you've got grandkids coming, you don't know what to do with them, check that out. Check out our new destination guide. Give it to them like the Sears catalog at Christmas and have them circle all the things that look like fun that they want to do, and you'll have a blast.
There you go.
Back to dining. Dining outdoors became really popular during the pandemic.
Yes.
It was always our most popular spotlight. Now there's so many places to do it. So what we've done is we made a nice nice top 10 list of all the prettiest places to do it.
Ooh,
So
pretty.
everything from the garden at Charlotte's out in Millbrook on 44 to the Zeus rooftop.
Oh, yeah.
Terrapin in Rhinebeck has their new outdoor space. So there's a ton of really wonderful places. And I almost hate to spill the secret because some of them are hidden gems. They're my favorite spots. But, we're all friends. So I'll share with you. But, so many good things. Check out DutchessTourism.com/summer for everything from ice cream places to pick your own farms to dog-friendly day trips. You name it, it's probably there.
Oh, that's terrific. It's funny how you say that, like divulging the secrets, because like I'll find something, it's like, this is really amazing. And then it was like, I could write an article about this, but do I keep it to myself? Most of the time I'll end up writing the articles like, I'll be nice, whatever. But you do have those moments
right?
at times. And it's like, oh gosh, but it's so cool. It's too cool to keep it all locked up. And it's amazing all the wonderful things that's going on right now. And especially in a post-COVID world, just to see everything grow and build. And you're right. You can't be bored. Anybody who thinks they can be bored in Dutchess County, I'm just going to send them to you, strap them to a chair, and like Clockwork Orange them. Like, I just feel like you would be able to just spew all this info on them. It's like, okay, that's good. It's not boring. It's exciting. And it really is. Again, you're listening to In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's Public Affairs and Issues program. We were speaking with Melaine Rottkamp, President and CEO of Dutchess Tourism. She was practically Google for a moment, just listing all of the stuff that is going on in Dutchess. And it's really impressive because Dutchess Tourism, going to their website, it is such a great catalog for everything that's going on, regardless of the season. Summer season, I feel like 2023 is going to be such a big year.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it is so hopeful in a lot of ways. Things are building, things that have taken a while and even longer with the pandemic. It's coming into fruition, and it's really, really awesome. And one thing that you alluded to before is how everybody plays a part in tourism, whether it's, people coming from wherever, residents, just a regular resident could do so much. And there's actually some really cool ways that residents can get involved. And you have some really cool programs. In particular, one that we were talking about before, one of my coworkers, Lisa, did this program, the Certified Tourism Ambassador Program.
Right.
And it's something that I want to do too. I'm definitely going to get over and doing it myself. Lisa said it was phenomenal. And I figured, let's just talk about this. How do you become a certified tourism ambassador, and like, why should somebody get involved with this?
Sure, that's a great question because a lot of people don't know about it. And so this is a national program. It's all around the country, but we're the only ones in the entire Northeast offering it. And we're able to offer it because we got county funding through the ARPA grants to help reinvigorate tourism from the pandemic. And so what we did was we put this big chunk of money toward workforce training. And it's not just for people who are currently working in tourism. It's great for anyone that interacts with the public. People who are volunteering, like walkway ambassadors or docents at Locust Grove and other museums, or people that work at our farms. We have more than 200 people who have been certified already, and more than 80 businesses. And some of them are ones you might think of, but other ones are things like real estate agents. Who's talking to people moving from outside the area more than real estate agents?
Absolutely.
And so, those folks, people like you, people who are working in our, I met with our supervisors and mayors Tuesday night, and I told them my goal is to get every one of you to go through this, because there's no bigger champions for our communities than those elected mayors and supervisors. So what it is, it's there's a pre-read that you got. It is a professional certification. You have to do the reading. You do not have to memorize the reading. But it's going to take you a good 8 to 10 hours if you read like I do. I read slow, and I know that some people get through faster, some take longer. But it's a lot of information about our county and our communities. And one of the things that everyone who has done it has said to us is that, I knew a lot about the area surrounding where I live or where I work, but I didn't know about all these other really interesting, cool things in the county.
Yeah.
Dutchess County is 800 square miles. It is a huge place. There's 30 municipalities, but you can go corner to corner and feel like you're on vacation a world away.
Yeah.
And so they all really found the rating to be interesting. It's not difficult reading. There's a lot of pictures. There's a lot of bullet points, I promise you. Good white space there to help break it up. But you do the reading, and then you come to class. We give you the reading about 2-ish weeks ahead of time. So the ideal way is you chunk it down and do half hour every day kind of thing, and then you're done. And then you get to sit in class with me or one of my amazing colleagues, and we go back and forth, and it's about a 4-hour class. So we don't do a ton with what you read. Some of that, there's some trivia. There's some fabulous prizes that happen during the day. And then some fun interactive exercises. You get to meet everybody in your group. You mix it up. It's great networking. We laugh a lot. And then at the end, there's an open book multiple choice test. It's like 28 questions. And so as long as you've paid attention and you went through that reading, you've got your open book, you know where to find the information. Like I said, we don't require you to memorize the information. We want you to know where to find it, because information, we all know, changes. So if you're dealing with somebody who's coming in from, maybe California, and they want to know where to go for nightlife, what is there to do tonight? A lot of people say, "Oh, there's nothing to do here," but you can find things for them, and you could say, "What do you like to do?" But you want to make sure you're giving them current information that is right for that day. If they're here on a Monday and you send them to a restaurant that's not open on a Monday, that's bad.
Yeah,
don't do that.
That doesn't quite work.
Dude, that happened to me once when I was traveling out in Denver.
Yeah.
And it was a disaster, because it was a Sunday morning. We were looking for some breakfast and everything was closed. And but that's not how you provide excellent service. That's not how you create a positive, lasting impression. You want to make sure you're giving them accurate information. And so we all look at it. I look up stuff all the time. I've been doing this for 12 plus years, and I still fact check myself because things change. So it's just about knowing what your resources are, knowing where to find things. Maybe you read it and you don't remember all the details, but you know it's out there, so you can go find it. So that's kind of the crux behind it. Excellent experiences, exceeding expectations, anticipating needs. And when you do that, when we all do that, imagine every business you go to has somebody taking care of you in that way. How great residents feel, how great visitors feel, how you're going to get loyal customers, how if you're in a tipping situation, you're likely going to get a much better tip, right? And that's good for the business's reputation, and it just, snowballs into being this amazing experience and helps us set apart as a destination for people to go to.
Absolutely. No, to be able to offer that, it's just better quality all the way around.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to highlight, you probably said it already, but I just want to really emphasize this. The certification is currently free to do, correct?
Correct. It is. So free asterisks. So
Okay.
It is free if you show up.
Yes.
So sometimes people don't value things that are free, and they can just blow it off and I'll just do it another time. But if you do that, then you've taken up a spot that someone else could have taken. So if you register and you don't cancel in enough time for us to try to fill that spot, we're going to charge you like $20. So
Makes sense.
just come, just commit and do it.
Yeah, that would be really, really good. I like that way of thinking because, it could be used for somebody else.
Right.
And the fact you've already had 200 people so far already certified in this, is like, you can see that this is an in-demand position.
Yeah.
So this would be great to be able to take part in. And not just the CTA program, but there's another one that we were also talking about before we got on the mic, the guest service gold tourism program as well, right?
Yeah. And so one of the great things about this is they dovetail really beautifully. So you've got your certified tourism ambassador program, and that is very heavily about Dutchess County and our attractions and our assets with some customer service. The other is the opposite. It's mostly customer service with a little bit of Dutchess thrown in there. And so it's all online. The other one has that in-person piece. This one is all online. It's a series of really great videos of real life situations that happen to real life people working in tourism and hospitality, and their stories, and how they had challenges and how they met those challenges. You don't just say, "Oh well, sorry, can't help you." You follow through to make sure their problem is resolved to the best of your ability. Are you going to always be able to solve their problem? No. Are you always going to be able to make people happy? No. Oh, we all know. There are those people that they want to complain that the sky is blue, you know, and there's nothing you can do about that. But you smile and you take a deep breath and you try, and you know that, hey, you did your best.
Yes.
And so that online is fun. It's easy. It's a shorter time commitment. It's only about 2 hours maybe.
Oh, okay.
And so if you do the CTA program, then you get to pass out of the Zoom part with me because you'll already have that information. If you just do the Guest Service Gold Tourism program, we have you do about a 1 hour Zoom with us so you understand who Dutchess Tourism is, what resources we offer to help you do your job.
Yeah. And now that's not specifically just through Dutchess Tourism. That's actually offered through, if I make sure that we get this right, the American Hotel and Lodging Educational Institute, which is actually the educational arm of two organizations, National Restaurant Association and American Hotel and Lodging Association. Did I get that right?
You did.
Fantastic.
It's a mouthful. We fact checked ourselves. We made sure we got it right.
Yep.
But yeah, these are both professional certifications. You can add them to your resume. If you're somebody looking for a job and people see that you've got one or both of these certifications, they're going to say, oh, this person is really interested in having a career with us. They're not just looking for a job. They want a career. They might start, at the bottom, but they're going to work their way up more quickly than other people because they've got these skills. And if you're a business owner and you see that people have this training, that means you don't have to do that additional training because they already have it. So it can save you time and money and effort in providing that training. Of course, you are going to have your own ways of doing certain things and they'll have to do that. But, they'll already have the overall general idea of what's expected and how to provide those services, how to walk in and say, I want to make somebody's job better today, their life better today, give them a smile. And so when you think about that, a lot of people, we focus on just the tasks of our job. We show up, we come in, you do your job, you go home. But as I mentioned earlier, you talk about that exponential effect of that money coming into our community. If you think, a big part of what we do, and one of the things that makes us so successful, is the collaborations that we have between people and the referrals. So when you're a CTA or you've worked with us, we encourage people to talk to each other, network. How can you work together on things, especially if you're in the same neighborhood? So if somebody comes to your boutique shop and they're done shopping and you could say, thank you for coming. I hope you found everything you needed. We hope you tell your friends and come back. And then, hey, have you been to this wonderful restaurant down the street? Did you know that this zoo is around the corner? Have you thought about visiting the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Presidential Library? There's an awesome new exhibit there. If you can refer them new experiences that they would be interested in, then they're not just going to go home. They're going to go spend money at other places and hopefully have great experiences there too. And so that builds that economic impact of that visitor because you took the time to learn a little bit about them, what they like to do, and make good recommendations. So that's what we hope for these programs.
No, that's terrific. It's funny. I just had a friend come and visit, and we just discovered a place. I probably passed it how many times in my life, but I never actually stopped in. But he was like, oh, I saw a sign for this. You want to go over? And I learned something new for the first time, even though here it is in my backyard. So you never know what you can learn, when and how, and why it would be important later on. So I think that's terrific. Again, you're listening to In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's Public Affairs and Issues program. We've been speaking to Melaine Rottkamp, President and CEO of Dutchess Tourism, and we've been talking about a lot of the great stuff that Dutchess Tourism has to offer. First of all, you got to check out the summer landing page. It's got so many wonderful things that is going to be going on throughout the Hudson Valley throughout the summer. But then also, if you really want to get involved with one of these programs, whether it be the CTA program, the Guest Service Gold Tourism program, or do both. What's keeping you from doing both? Honestly, It's really good to have both because it sounds like they, as you said, they dovetail off of each other. And it's just a great set of skills to have, whether for your personal life, whether for your career. It's just good to build upon. So, Melaine, I really appreciate all of this. As we wrap this up, where should people go to find the information we talked about today?
Right. So DutchessTourism.com is where you're going to go. If you're looking for events for a particular day or weekend, our event calendar is most popular page on the website. If you scroll down, you're going to see the little compass for all those digital experience passes, some money-saving ones and deals. If you go down a little further, you'll see the block that for the letter B that says Be a Certified Tourism Ambassador. All the workforce training programs are at that link. And if you go a little further on the page, or if you just type it in directly, DutchessTourism.com/summer.
There you go. That's fantastic. And of course, all links and information will be in the description of this episode. Make sure that it's nice and concise for you. But Melaine, thank you so much for being here. It's always great to start off a season with you. That way, like, everybody is ready to go for everything that kind of happens after this point. And I'm sure, hopefully, probably by the fall or at the latest winter, we definitely don't want to wait that long, but we would love to have you back again.
Great. Fall it is. That fall is the time, but
oh, absolutely.
Good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Melaine. This has been this week's edition of In Touch, the public affairs and issues program that runs across Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley radio stations. We want to give a big thank you to Melaine Rottkamp. For more info on Dutchess Tourism, visit DutchessTourism.com. To find specific info on the CTA program, visit DutchessTourism.com/Dutchess-Tourism-Ambassador-Program. Of course, all links and information can be found in the description of this episode. Whether you've been listening for a while or you just joined us, thank you. You can find In Touch episodes new and old on your favorite streaming services like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and more. That and listen on demand with your Townsquare radio station mobile app. Of course, you can still find all articles and audio under the In Touch tab on this radio station's app and website. And don't forget, we're also on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at InTouch_HV. If you like what we do here on In Touch and want to be on the show, let us know. Whether you have a topic you want discussed or you want to be a guest, the best way to contact us is through our office number, 845-471-1500, or email direct to connor.walsh@townsquaremedia.com. I've been your host, Connor Walsh. Until next time, stay curious, keep an open mind, and as always, I'm glad we get to spend some time.